Shalom Akim. All praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. And well, as you can see, I got a couple of news clips that I saw this morning. Of course, they reported on again at night. And I wanted to share these clips, and I wanted to bring out a couple of scriptures. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring out the scriptures first, and then I'm going to show these clips. First, Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And the second one is, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. And these videos is basically dealing with his children seeking to please the poor. Because basically the street signs for harassment, that fits Isaiah 10:1 perfectly. And seeking to please the poor, you'll see by the clips themselves that's what they're trying to do. And we that is in the know already know that Esau is only doing this because they're about to bring some major destruction. So they're seeking to please the poor right now, only for you Israelites out there to let your guards down. But without further ado, I'm going to play these clips.
Tonight, dozens of people coming out to voice their opinion on a proposed... It was standing room only at the Grand Rapids City Commission meeting tonight. Dozens of people coming out to voice their opinion on a proposed city ordinance to expand human rights.
One aspect of the measure focuses on preventing people from using police to enforce their own bigotry. For example, calling 911 to report a black person walking down their street.
24-Hour News 8's Heather Balker was at the meeting where people spoke for more than an hour, Heather. The majority of people who spoke were in favor of this new ordinance, saying it's not a solve-all, but it is a step in the right direction.
Look at it, and it doesn't say anything girls in here. I don't care. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not because you don't want black people?
From national news stories like Barbecue Becky, who called police on a black family using a charcoal grill, to local events like a 12-year-old Grand Rapids girl handcuffed after a neighbor falsely reported a shooting occurred. These biased 911 calls are what the ordinance aims to stop by imposing a fine up to $500.
I am appalled that I live in a city I grew up in that has to have an ordinance to tell people not to call the police on people because of the color of their skin. I have biracial grandchildren, and that's why I had to be here tonight, because I couldn't not stand up, because I refuse to let them grow up in that kind of world.
A line of people spoke, mostly in favor of the idea of a new ordinance to stop these calls, while some wondered if the ordinance is the right answer.
It is good that we as a community value leaving people alone and letting them live by themselves without fear of discrimination. But we already have laws saying it's illegal to discriminate against people based on their protected class. We already have something covering this, and to create additional redundant legislation does nothing.
There is a current ordinance. It was created in the 1950s.
Yeah, and that's funny that an Edomite had to stand up and say, "Oh, we already you shouldn't do this to us," making it because we're afraid. That's why we no. You devils just love oppressing Jake. Let me go to the next video. Let's see. Street signs blamed for harassment. Alright. Here we go. Now, I don't know why this one doesn't want to play, but let me try something different. wait till this commercial goes, and then the video should play. But as you can see at the end of that first video, how Esau stands up still to keep the oppression going. Because if there's ordinances, then why aren't they following them?
People's lives have really been affected behind these signs.
New tonight, changes in Kalamazoo are providing a way for many to heal.
There's true trauma behind these signs. People's lives have really been affected behind these signs.
New tonight, changes in Kalamazoo are providing a way for many to heal. These signs were meant to curb drug problems in the early 1990s, but many feel they open up the door to racial profiling by police. Now the signs are coming down.
24-Hour News 8's Marvis Herring spoke with a couple that pressed for change, had a man ticketed by police while just standing in his brother's yard. He's live on the north side of Kalamazoo tonight. Marvis.
Brian and Marley, most of the signs here on the north side of Kalamazoo have come down, but take a look at this one here on West Patterson Street. No stopping, no parking, no standing, and it's right by a bus stop. I've been told that some bus riders have found themselves at the mercy of police until one couple said no more. Does it feel good?
It feels great. It feels great. I'm holding. It's like a platinum record right here. It's like a trophy.
There's no hiding the joy Ed Genesis and his wife Patrice Nicole feel after the city's traffic board heard them out and these signs came down.
People have been just ecstatic at the ability to just be able to live.
People like Ernest Gathing.
I watch so many people get harassed over these signs. I mean, go from just standing in front of your house, enjoying yourself, cooking, everything's smiling, daddy. Next thing you know, police out of nowhere.
He's lived in Kalamazoo his entire life, and though these signs were meant to be a drug deterrent, they've created fear.
Drugs were prevalent, crack cocaine specifically. People would be out on the block like, 15, 20 deep. And so, in somebody's front yard a lot of times. They didn't take care of no drug issue. I think they just stopped family unity.
Last August, Gathing parked in front of his brother's house on Lawrence for a barbecue. Minutes later, he says there were police lights and an officer searching his car. This case is now thrown out, but the police report says the officer made the stop due to the area's suffering quality of life.
I come from a past where I seen that and been through that. I learned from my mistakes and grew. And it's bad when you grow and still get put in the same place over and over and over.
The fight is also personal for Ed and Patrice. He's been ticketed in his own driveway, and they say others fell victim on the daily.
I had to get out there with my phone and record the officer and let him know I was recording because a guy was helping his aunt up the stairs with her groceries, and she was disabled.
When you think about quality of life issues, you think about, a parent waiting for the child on the bus. That's a problem. There's true trauma behind these signs. People's lives have really been affected behind these signs. It's more than just follow the rules. So what has to happen is you have to understand that your voice is powerful and not to give up.
Crews started taking these signs down here on the north side on April 12th. I'm told that some residents in this area have been trying to get these signs down for years. Patrice explained that it originally took 51% of homeowners in an area to sign a petition to make that happen, and most minorities in this area, they rent, they don't own, and their homeowners either live out of the state or out of the city, and that complicated this process. We're live in Kalamazoo tonight. Marvis Herring, 24-Hour News 8.
Motorcycle, boat, RV.
But that's it right there. I've already read the scriptures, and I'm going to read them again. Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they prescribe. And Esau prescribed these grievousness, talking about street signs, no standing, no sitting and all this other stuff, and they got them right next to bus stops, and they're only in you Jake's neighborhoods, you so-called Negroes, and the Latinos neighborhoods, the so-called minority neighborhoods. And then this new ordinance that's coming to GR for the human rights, basically banning Edomites from calling the police for their own personal bigotry. You know, they're going to get fined for it. And Edomites still got a problem with that. Oh, because they can't call the police because they want Jake to be harassed. And they got a problem with that. And these are grievous sins that they prescribe. You know, and on the other hand, his children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. Basically, this is just an attempt to please the poor, which is not going to work, because Esau always likes to be on both sides. He likes to have a few Edomites that agree and a few more Edomites that disagree. And what do the scriptures say about a kingdom divided? It shall fall. And one other scripture, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. In other words, Esau is still going to be the devil, man. So you don't go believing his words, man. And Esau wouldn't be making all these measures if they didn't have something worse down the pipeline. So you know something worse is coming anytime Esau takes measures like this. And with that, that's going to be the end of this video. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone, and salutations to you brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. Until the next video, Shalom.